Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge, and today we have a new blog post. So, first of all, it seems like the blog post schedule has kind of changed a little bit. I've noticed the last 2 months that they're actually posting on the last day of the month instead of the last Friday of the month. So no matter what day of the week it is, if it's the last day of the month, it seems like there may be a blog post. I'm assuming not on the weekends. It'll probably be the next closest weekday, either before or after. That's just an assumption though. But I guess we'll probably find out more for May's blog post because the last day of May is a Sunday. So we'll either get it probably on the Friday the 29th or Monday, June 1st. But that's not really the whole point of this video anyway. So I just wanted to let you know because I noticed that. This blog post is about the upcoming Brabant and Passion week. Am I going to say Brabant wrong or different every time? Yeah, probably, because I don't know if it's Brabant or Brabant. Okay, we'll deal with it. There is another thing of news that I kind of want to talk about. Well, actually, there's two. First, there is a new redeem code. Star Stable posted on their story yesterday that there actually is a new, kind of like hidden lookout location. You can find it in Marching Gas. There is a new door with sparkles. I will give you a hint if you don't want the answer, but it is inside Marching Gas's walls. So look in all the nooks and crannies, see if you can find it. If you click on the sparkles, it'll take you to a new location, so you can kind of look out over Marching Gas. It's really cool. But anyways, there is a redeem code. This is the code that is associated with that post. I think it's still active, but there wasn't really a date. So if you haven't gotten it yet, please try it. Hopefully you can get some 30 free star coins for it. And the second thing is that they did do an Instagram post a little bit talking about the Trailblazer because they didn't stick it into this blog post. I'm assuming we'll probably get it maybe in May's blog post, a little deeper dive into these Trailblazer track changes. But I did want to at least read through this and just kind of give some quick thoughts because I'm not going to lie, I did record like a half-hour video just talking about this, but I'm not posting that one. I'm going to do it again. So this is the Trailblazer update with design director Christina. First of all, please know we're reading all of your comments. Your feedback is so valuable to us and we always take it into consideration. We always aim to enable as many players as possible to partake in and best of all, complete the Trailblazer track. So far, our efforts have given positive results in this regard, but we are far from done. Work in progress. Our goal is to continue to develop and improve the Trailblazer tracks from the ground up. This takes time and we were faced with a choice. Either we make small changes to our trails moving towards the right direction, or we remove the feature entirely. As we saw positive results to the ability to complete the trail last time out, we chose to go with the first option. The Trailblazer track lives on. So what's new? Weekend bonus points. For this Trailblazer track, we are adding bonus points every weekend, Friday to Sunday. This way, players who can't join during the week have a better chance to catch up. This was just a short catch-up on the topic of Trailblazer tracks. Anyone who is interested in reading more can keep up on our website in the coming weeks as we aim to put out a longer blog post on this. Thank you. We wish you a lovely day on Jorvik and thank you for working with us on this. So I'm going to be honest with you, I did record a whole second take of this that was just as long as the first one. I do still think I said it better, but honestly, the only thing that I want to point out is that I understand that people are upset about this particular phrase, and it's not really about if you guys misbehave, we're going to take away your toys. It's more so the stakeholders don't want them investing time in a system that people don't like. This is another case of what I've been saying in the past, which is the constant negativity on the social media channel is going to negatively impact this game. If we can't provide reasonable, constructive criticism, if everything is just negativity, we hate this, we hate this, we hate this, the stakeholders are going to say, hey, the players don't like your game, fix it. And if they can't do anything to make us happy, not because they are failing, but because the social media comments don't say we're enjoying the game, even if the playtime suggests we are, they're just going to remove the feature. And that's just kind of the bottom line. So I guess it's kind of your cautionary tale to learn how to provide criticism, or we lose these features entirely. There will be a blog post that is going to go over this in detail. I'm hoping we get a little bit more information about why these changes were necessary. I think that might help the community understand, but only time will tell when we actually get that in a blog post. And speaking of the blog post, let's actually talk about today's blog post. Starting with Brabant. This is written by Seuss the 3D artist. Hello everyone, my name is Seuss, one of the 3D horse artists here at Star Stable, and I was lucky enough to be able to work on the upcoming Brabant horse. When I was a little kid, I used to go to pony camp in the summer. One time I was taking my pony back to the pasture for the day, and that's where I saw a Brabant for the first time. It was this absolute giant draft horse standing by the pasture gate. It felt like it could crush me with its hooves, that powerful. But he was super calm and gentle and just hanging out waiting for cuddles. That mix of strength and kindness became a big part of the direction for our in-game Brabant. The breed. The Brabant is a draft horse from Belgium with a long history as a working horse. In the 1800s and early 1900s, it was widely used in agriculture, transport, and industry, known for its strength and reliability. Each year, more than 35,000 horses were exported to all parts of the world. They served as living engines in agriculture, transport, ports, and mining. True everyday heroes. When machines eventually replaced a lot of their work, the breed became less common, but today, people are rediscovering just how special these horses are and loving them especially for driving and recreation. Since the Brabant is related to the Ardennes, which is already in Star Stable, we needed to make sure the two breeds didn't feel too similar, so we took a good look at conformations and decided where we needed the Brabant to differ. Our goal was to capture the Brabant while also keeping these keywords in mind. Super strong, kind and gentle, hardworking, not lazy or sleeping, and a real gentle giant. That became our design model. Building the 3D model. Next, it was time to bring the Brabant to life in 3D. We focused a lot on the body shape. The Brabant is often considered one of the strongest horse breeds in the world, so we made sure that the model had a powerful muscular build and a sense of weight without feeling fat. We compared it with other draft breeds like the Shire to make sure the Brabant felt unique. Shorter in terms of height than a Shire, but definitely more muscular. Manes, tails, and fluscious hair. Since Brabants were often used in farm work, shorter tails made sense and we wanted to include a mane style like that. But the breed can also have really fluffy full manes and tails. A new word was born during one of the brainstorm meetings when the words fluffy and luscious got mixed. Fluscious. Also part of the process, bug fixing. When painting the grayscale, we had to balance keeping the definition of the strong muscles while having a slightly fluffy look. In terms of coats, the Brabant is known for its roan color, so these must be included. It was really fun to paint these coats, mixing tons of different hair strands to create a good balance in hair colors to achieve the roan look. Time for some feathering magic. Brabants can have very thick and heavy feathering on their legs. Instead of using a piece of feathering that is fully attached to the legs as it usually is, we wanted to try something new to make the feathering move more naturally. So I created bigger, fluffier feathering mesh and handed it to our awesome rigging and animation team. They were able to animate it and give it movement that reacts with the horse's steps, and the result's pretty awesome if you ask me. Special trick. What's also pretty fun to mention is the special trick for this horse. Again, we wanted to show off how gentle and kind this horse is, so the animators created a super fun yoga pose that you as a player can do on the Brabant. We hope you enjoyed discovering all of its little details and getting to know this strong, gentle, fluscious friend. Okay, I'm gonna say something kind of controversial. I don't really like the special trick. I don't know, it just kind of feels random. It doesn't feel like there's like a practical application. And like, I know that the special animation, special gates and stuff like that always increase the cost of the horse. Usually no more than $950, but I don't think that this one's special trick is kind of worth it to me. I do think that like the model is gorgeous. It's very cute. I love like the feathering animation that they showed. They did a good job making it unique from the Ardennes. Honestly, it took a while for me to get and like the Ardennes. I waited until the Caribou horse came out, which was like almost a full year later. I think I need to see this horse in game to decide if I'm gonna get it, because honestly, I'm not sure. In the blog post, there are only 3 conformations of color. There is a blue roan, a red roan, and a bay, it looks like. So I'm interested to see what other colors they will have for this horse, and I'll definitely have to see it in game before I decide if I'm getting them or not. The second part of this article is Passion Week at Star Stable, and this one is written by Stacy, the game director. Hello again, Stacy here, game director for Star Stable Online. Now that our adventures into the mysteries of Marching Gas are almost wrapped up for now, it's time for me to tell you more about another topic, Passion Week. Each year at Star Stable, we run 2 Passion Weeks, one in the first half of the year and one in the second. The aim of these weeks is for the team to have the opportunity to work on their own ideas outside of their usual projects. We strongly believe this encourages collaboration and creativity and gives the team a break from their regular workflow. During these weeks, we also have a ton of fun things going on in the office. We invite guest speakers, usually from other game studios, to share their areas of expertise so we can learn and build connections. There's breakfast in the kitchen every morning, and a special after-work event is planned at the end of the week. Time spent after hours either at the office or at another location where the team can hang out and socialize to wrap up the week. The Passion Week team, a group of volunteers who plan these weeks in addition to their usual work, even schedule fun activities throughout the week. My favorite activity is when they hid tiny horses throughout the office, and if you found one, you got a lunch gift card. But of course, the headline of the week is the Passion Projects. We have seen all manner of projects worked on during these times, and while the goal is not necessarily to create something that will end up in Star Stable Online, we've gotten some of the coolest additions to the game through Passion Week, and I might even give you a sneak peek into things to come. At the end of the week, projects were presented to the entire team so we can see what everyone's created during their passion time. 1 week is not enough time to fully complete a project, so even if something awesome is created, there's usually additional work needed to make it release ready. One of the largest examples of this is photo mode. It started as a passion project, and I think it had one of the biggest impacts on the game experience. Some of our artists like to work on new items and pets. You might recognize these fluffy kitties and the Baroness's clothing collection. Other projects may be represented without a clear use case. This is what happened with the bouncy horse and the character you now know as McHorse. These were created during a previous Passion Week, and it wasn't until our Equestrian Festival project team saw an opportunity that they made their way to Jorvik. While sometimes work is not player-facing, such as improvements to performance, maintenance to different areas of the game, internal tools for our team, etc., I can give you a sneak peek at some of the recent Passion projects that might end up coming your way. During our last Passion Week, one of our gameplay programmers started working on 2 additional features to Global Store: Favorites and Search. Both of these features are currently in development to be finalized for an undetermined upcoming release. Here's an early mock-up of what Favorites and Search might look like. In addition, 2 of our environment artists conducted tests for a very exciting project, Personal Pastures. We have long known that players would love a personal and customizable space in their home stable to play and the pasture of their horses. Their tests showed that this might be much more achievable than we expected, so we've kicked off the start of this adventure to hopefully bring to you. Well, we have a time frame we're aiming for, but it feels too early to share. I don't want to jinx it. Please keep in mind that we are still early in this investigation and anything could change. Here's an example of one of the tests they did during Passion Week. This is not necessarily a representation of what the end result will look like, but it's super inspiring, right? Our entire team thought so. While I've only shared a few projects here, there are dozens produced every year. Some may never make it to the game, they might not be the right fit, or they might not even be implementable beyond the concept phase, but giving the team time to flex their creative muscles always brings new invigoration to our regular work. Thank you for taking the time to read, and I hope you're just as excited as I am for our upcoming Passion Week in May. Okay, I love when they talk about Passion Week because it's really interesting to see the kinds of ideas that the developers come up with, even if they don't make it to the game, or that they eventually do. I mean, McHorse was a hit. The Baroness's outfit set is also like very top tier for me. I mean, I use photo mode every day, fluffy cats, all of these things were previous Passion Week projects. So I'm excited to see what the team comes up with in May for this next Passion Week. And I do hope that they get to share some of the ones that either show promise, but I also completely understand why they wouldn't want to, because obviously things change and I don't know when they pitched McHorse, but obviously it took at least some time before he made it to the game. One of the things that I did want to show is the screenshot of the example for the global store. I think that those are really sorely needed changes or edits for the global store. I would love a search beyond just searching colors, because the system doesn't always work, especially if you're looking for something with a very specific name. Yesterday I was looking for the Noble set and I had to scroll for a while until I found it. But if I knew it was called Noble set, I could have just searched Noble, or I could have just searched Witch and see everything that pops up for those titles. The other thing I love is the favorites. If you can sort through favorites, you can essentially create a wish list within Star Stable. So you can just hit show favorites, and I wouldn't need to keep track of my shopping wish list because it would already be in the game. That would be awesome. And finally, obviously, the big takeaway here for this Passion Week article is the possibility of getting our own pastures, personal pastures for our horses that we can customize to our own liking. That would be huge. I know that it is something that people have wanted for a long time. The picture they showed honestly is really cute. Whether or not it looks like this, it sort of looks like it is on its own island surrounded by trees, so you can't really travel to it. Probably somewhere that you can access and invite friends to and just have your own barn. I think that's so cool, especially if there's like the option to customize it the way that we have home stable customization. I would eat that up. Obviously, they're still in the early investigation into the system. It could happen, it might not happen, but it is very exciting to see that it is something that the team is considering. So anyways, that is it for the blog post. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video like this. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more, and I will see you all in the next video, which is part 2 of Paradox. So if you've been waiting for that, the wait is almost over. I will see you all next time. Bye!